y'all, so I'm going to be doing my April wrap up and my May TBR Jar Picks. I still did not read very much in April. This is my last week of school for the semester, so I have finals this week and then I'm done. And it's Monday right now, so I have a final due tomorrow, but I really wanted to film this video and just get it filmed and uploaded so that way y'all had a video, because I haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks. And I have 3 vlogs that I've filmed. One is actually edited and done, and I'll probably put that up today, but I needed to film a thumbnail or like, you know, do a thumbnail and everything. So I've just been very busy with school. It's been very chaotic, but I'm gonna have the summer to read more and film more, and I'm really happy about that. So, and I've already read 2 books this month in May, so that's a better start than I've had like in a long time. So this whole year actually. I did read 2 books in April, so not like as good as I normally do, but like I said, it's been so chaotic this semester. I also DNF'd a book that I'm gonna talk about. Actually, probably just talk about that now. I read 2 books, or I tried to read 2 books from the TBR Jar stack. Like I said, I didn't read hardly at all, so I didn't really get a lot of TBR stack stuff done. The first book that I tried to read in the TBR stack was Bird Box by Josh Malerman. I actually could not get into this. I can't remember how far exactly that I got into this book, but basically I just wasn't into it, and I feel bad because everybody really likes this, and I know there's a movie out, and honestly the movie does not interest me at all. Like, I just don't think the plot of this is really my thing. It's not really something I gravitate towards, so yeah, I think that's why I had a really hard time getting into it. I still kind of want to try to pick it up at maybe later this year, but as of right now it's DNF'd. I don't know if I'll pick it back up, but I feel like I should at least give it another chance. But I don't know, it was torture reading this, and I wasn't gonna like make myself read something that I was not enjoying, especially since I've been in like pretty much a like months long reading slump. So, you know, making myself read something that I wasn't interested in would definitely not have helped the slump that I've been in. So yeah, so I just ended up not finishing this, and I don't think I'm going to, but I'm gonna keep it around a little bit longer just in case like I get the need to pick it up, because that has happened before. I did that with Anna and the French Kiss actually. I DNF'd that about 100 pages in, and then a few months later I picked it up and I loved it. That was just a case of me not being in the mood to read it at the time, but this is, I don't think it's a mood thing. I just really don't think it's my thing what the topic is about. So I think it's pretty much like post-apocalyptic. I can never say that correctly, by the way. I think that's kind of the theme here, and it's just really not my thing. I've never liked stuff like that, so, but I'm sorry to say that I had to DNF for this. But the other 2 books that I read in April were both 5-star reads. Well, one was almost a 5-star, but they were still really, really good. And these 2 books essentially got me out of my reading slump, because like I said, I've already read 2 books in May, and all of them have been thrillers. So I'm on a thriller kick right now, and if that's what's gonna get me out of the slump, then I'm all about it. But let me just tell y'all what I read and finished in April. The first book that I finished in April was My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing, and this actually just came out, and I'm pretty sure it released in April or maybe like the end of March, somewhere along those dates. But I really enjoyed this book. So this thriller was just absolutely enjoyable to read. My mama and I actually read it at the same time. She listened to it and I physically read it. Y'all, it was so good. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed this. The characters are absolutely twisted and crazy and weird, but this book, by the way, is about a husband and a wife who have a very normal life. They live in the suburbs. They, you know, have social events. They have friends. They go to parties. They have regular jobs, but they like to murder people for fun. That's all you need to know about this. I'm not going to get any more into it because I mean, for me, when I heard that synopsis, just that tiny little paragraph, sorry, somebody called me, but that tiny little paragraph that gave nothing away, I was like, yes, I want to read this. So I feel like that's all you need to know about this book. Oh my gosh, it was so good. The characters, like I said, were so twisted, just diabolical and kind of gross, but it was literally so good. So yeah, I really liked it. Sorry, people keep calling me and I don't know what the hell is happening. Please check this out. It is so good, and it's relatively new. So it's actually very new, and people need to read this book. So I mean, I heard about it from Kayla from Books and Lala. Me and her generally have very similar reading tastes. There will be, on the rare occasion where I don't like a book that she really loved, or she hates a book that I really love. That actually happened with my first read in May, and I'll get into more of that later. She is the reason I read this, and I absolutely loved it. I gave it a 4.75 out of 5 stars, and I know that's so annoying, those ratings where they're like so particular. I rated it this because I felt there was something missing in the book, and I don't know if it was because for me the ending was very predictable, and I kind of had already figured out the little plot twist. And not only did I figure out the big plot twist, but there were also little twists in there that I had figured out too somewhere along the way. So that was kind of disappointing for me, but I've been really trying to like retrain my brain about thrillers, because a thriller can still be an amazing thriller even if you're not shocked by the twist, as long as it's revealed in a really amazing way, and as long as you are still absolutely like on the edge of your seat biting your nails because of how amazing the book is, then it still should be a good thriller. And I'm really trying to tell myself that, because a lot of the time my ratings when it comes to a thriller, what determines a high rating for me is if I'm surprised by the twist, because that doesn't happen with me very often. And I really need to stop doing that, because I mean, this is a prime example of a book being predictable and you kind of figuring out the ending but still being so amazing, because the reveal and the anticipation and all of it was amazing, top notch. I did give it a 5 on Goodreads because I felt like it deserved a 5, but in my head it's a 4.75 out of 5 stars. But highly recommend it. Please pick this up. It is so good. And then the last book I read this April, also my second book that I read this April, is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. So I have wanted to read this book for such a long time, and this is another recommendation from Kayla from Books and Lala. I feel like most of the books I read on my channel are recommendations from her, but we like the same books, like thrillers. I'm such a thriller reader. Like, I love that genre, and so does she. So I'm like constantly looking up to her at like the books that she reads, because she normally has a really good taste in books. Like, I think she does anyways. This was amazing. This was a solid 5 out of 5 stars. I really think I love this book so much because it was very character driven, and I am a big character driven reader. I care generally more about the characters than I do the plot. And this actually had both the character development and the plot were so strong in my opinion. And this actually has a lot of Shakespeare in it. Like, they're all theater students who perform Shakespeare plays, and I absolutely do not like Shakespeare. I've tried to read these books. I've tried to read Shakespeare and I just can't get it. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why people love it so much. I don't understand what the man is saying half the time, and I don't even know if Shakespeare understands what he's saying. Like, that's probably like gonna offend some people, but I just don't like Shakespeare. And I thought because Shakespeare was so heavily referenced in this and it was such a big part of the story that I wouldn't enjoy it as much, but I enjoyed it more because of the Shakespeare, and I never thought I would say that. So the Shakespeare absolutely didn't bother me, and I felt like it added so much more to the story. Like I said, this is so heavily character driven, and I have a vlog on both books actually that I've read, and I'll link both of the vlogs down below, where the vlog that I've edited and I'm going to upload today is the If We Were Villains vlog. So yeah, that'll be up before the wrap up and TBR Jar. This was so good. And once again, the ending I felt personally was kind of predictable. Well, actually not the ending, the very last few pages, that was not predictable. I was not expecting that. But the whodunit thing, that was predictable for me. I kind of figured that from the very beginning. Like, maybe not the very beginning, but like once everything had happened, because it takes a good 100 pages before the actual murder happens, so you have to wait for a long time. But once the murder happened, I had a very good idea as to who did it, and I was right. But there is something kind of amazing, very amazing, at the last few pages of this book that was shocking. And also what I liked about this is the ending is very much open for interpretation, so the reader can kind of decide what the ending means, because the author is not clear on what happens at the very end. So the reader can kind of, in their own head, decide what happens. So I loved that too. But this book just altogether is so amazing, and I thought it was going to be like overhyped because so many people love this book, and I was like, I have such high expectations for this. What if it doesn't meet those expectations? But to me, this book is so worth the hype. Like, I really loved this. And it's one of my favorite thrillers ever. It'll be in my best books of the year video. I can already say that with confidence because I genuinely just loved this book, and it made my heart so happy. And I fell in love with so many of the characters in this book, and I just love it. I will reread this and reread this and reread this. So it's a gem for sure. So now we are going to do the TBR Jar picks, and I'm still gonna draw 8 books because first of all, finals are gonna be done on Thursday. So I'll have all month to read. My brother is graduating high school next weekend, and my family's coming, and I'm so excited that they're coming. But I will probably be, I know I will be very busy that weekend, but hopefully I can get some reading in, and then the last 2 weeks I will pretty much have nothing to do but, you know, read. So I want to draw 8 books. I also want to do a readathon this month. I'm going to try my best, maybe at the beginning of next week. But if y'all didn't watch last month's video, green is classics, orange is thriller horror, pink is romance contemporary, and blue is fantasy sci-fi. That is what they all mean. Sorry, I'm just trying to really mix them up. Okay, I'm just gonna actually go in the middle here. Okay, did I grab one? Okay, yay! Orange. Before she knew him. Okay, I did think about what this was, but I remember now, and I'm actually really excited about it. Okay, so the first book that I drew is Before She Knew Him by Peter Swanson, and this is the author who wrote The Kind Worth Killing, and I really liked that book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, so it was a really good book. But this is his new release. This is actually a book of the month book right there. So I got that in the mail last month, and I've been really wanting to read this. So I'm really excited that I picked it. This is my first one. So far, so good. Do another one. I'm gonna try to go towards the bottom. Okay, I think I got one. Okay, pink. Girl in Pieces. Okay, I've actually already started this, and I've had a really hard time with this book. I've thought about DNFing it several times, but I really want to give it a shot because so many people like it, but I don't know. Hold on a second. Okay, so second book I picked is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. So here's this one. Like I said, I've been trying to read this since pretty much the beginning of the year, and it's just, I'm on page 51, and I don't know, it's just a little, it's the writing style, I don't think I'm getting it maybe, and also just the story in general, like, kind of makes my anxiety really high. So yeah, I'm just not sure if this book is for me, but I am gonna try to read it the best of my ability, and I really want to finish this because I just know it's touched a lot of people, and I really want to give it a try. So yeah, but I'm gonna try to read this. Now let's continue. Now I think I'm gonna just pick from the top. Orange again. Salem's Lot. Okay, this one is a big one. This book is actually over 500 pages, but it's Salem's Lot by Stephen King, and I think this is a vampire book. So yeah, and I remember being disappointed because I thought it was about witches because Salem, and then I found out it was about vampires and I was a little disappointed, but people say it's really good. So, and I love Stephen King, and I try to like at least like be actively reading a Stephen King every month. So yeah. Oh, I need to read It because the part 2 is coming out and I need to finish that before part 2 comes out. Yeah. Third pick, or wait, that was the third pick. Fourth pick. This one. Oh my god, it's classic. Dracula. Okay, here's Dracula by Bram Stoker, and I'm not gonna lie, classics are probably like on the TBR list what I'm least likely to read, but I wanted to put them in there just in case like I was really in the mood for one. So grab Dracula. I'm kind of nervous about this one, but I need to read it, so maybe it'll happen this month, hopefully. So I have 4 more books to pick. Let's go at the bottom again and grab that one. Okay, I just dropped like 80 orange again. Okay. My Sister Rosa. I've actually started this one too. Okay, here it is. My Sister Rosa by Justine I don't even know how to say that last name. Okay, so 5th book that I've picked. This is a thriller, psychological thriller, I think. And like I've said, I've already started this one, but I don't know how far I got in it because I put it down and I haven't picked it back up. So yeah. Okay, 3 more books. Let's see here. I want a fantasy. I'm not getting fantasy. Okay. Yay, fantasy! Hopefully it's one that I really want to read. Clockwork Princess. I really need to read this. I've had a lot of subscribers wanting me to, so I'm glad that I picked this one. So this is the final book in the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I really need to read it, and I think I've just been procrastinating because I'm so sad it's over, because this is my favorite series so far in the Mortal Instruments, or like, not the Mortal Instruments, the Shadowhunter Chronicles. So this, I love these characters so much, and I don't want it to end, but I need to read it. So I'm really glad I picked this one, and this is like pretty much a very high priority on this list because I really want to finish it. And I'm finally getting in the mood for fantasy again, and I think it's because school's over and I'm gonna have a lot more time to really like invest in fantasy. So hopefully I pick a couple more fantasies. I've got 2 more, so let's pray. Okay, yay! Okay, this one, Ember in the Ashes. I've been wanting to start this series so badly. Yay! Okay, Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. This is the first book in the, I don't even know what this series is called. I've really been wanting to read it for a long time, and yeah, and I love that there's a woman of color as the main character, so yeah, been dying to read this. So very happy about this pick. And by the way, I do go outside of this list. Like, I'm a very big mood reader, but I do want to at least read a couple books from the stack. And the reason I draw 8 is because I want to have a lot of options, because I'm a person that needs a lot of options, but I will read outside of this stack. So I'll read whatever's on the shelf that I'm in the mood for. So like I did that with My Lovely Wife last month, because that was not on the TBR list, but I really wanted to read it. 1 more. Let's try to get another fantasy. Yes! Okay. Ooh, The Gilded Wolves. Okay, so I just got this one. Now, I've heard mixed reviews about this. I've heard some people really love it, and then I've heard some people really don't. So it's kind of like a polarizing book, but I've really been wanting to try it out. So I have no idea what it's about, but I've really been wanting to try it out. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm so happy. So this is my TBR Jar Picks for the month of May, and I'm very happy with this stack. I have a lot of good choices to choose from, and my goal is to generally read like 2 to 4 books on the TBR Jar list. So yeah, and like I said, I pick 8 because I just like to have a lot of options. I'm more likely to pick from the stack if I have good options like this. So yeah, here we are. and I'm so happy about this. So that is it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please like this video if you want to, and subscribe if you want to see more of me. I vlog when I read my books, so if y'all want to know like my thoughts on it or like a formal review and my reaction while I'm reading it, just subscribe and y'all will see all of the vlogs, because I generally literally vlog every single book that I read. So yeah, but that is it. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!